fistula affects women, yes, but it's not a women's issue, it's a human issue.
I am committed and advocate and prioritize maternal and newborn health through the Beyond Zero campaign.
Welcome to Health Focus Show, the weekly webcast show that celebrates change makers and daily heroes and heroines in healthcare. My name is Jotube, and today we have an amazing discussion planned for you with Cecilia Karanja. She's an amazing woman, an inspiring woman, and a champion for human rights. She is the founder and the CEO of Fertility Kenya organization. Today she's going to share with me her journey in trying to be a mother, what inspired her to form the organization, and above all, what Kenyans need to do to ensure that fertility services are more accessible to Kenyans. Remember, the content of this show will be aired by Medical Media Services and will be available on our health portal, Zanat Health Portal. Welcome. To start the show, welcome Cecilia Karanja for being with us. And I understand you have quite a story in trying to be a mother. Can you kindly share with us?
Thank you very much. Yes. My name is Cecilia Karanja. I always like saying I'm Mama Prince or Mama China because these are the gift that God gave me. I'm also Mrs. Karanja. I thank God that I have a journey. I traveled a journey of infertility, and yes, this far the Lord has brought me. I've been able to conceive 2 kids. So we'll be sharing with you what I went through. I was married and divorced, married twice and divorced twice. So basically I'd gone through hell on earth, and here I am, a proud mother of 2. Right now as we were speaking, I'm in my 3rd marriage. I went through so much in my first marriage. I got married when I was 24 years, and during my marriage, like any other woman, you think like after the wedding, the celebrations, and everybody is happy. When you go home with your husband, the next thing people expect is you're going to have a baby. So that did not happen for me. So we went and we stayed the first year, no baby, no contraceptives, nothing. So it was not a big deal the first year. So for me, I didn't take it like it's a big thing. So the 2nd year, that is when now we were like concerned, and now my husband then started being violent on me. The fact that now we could not get children. So the 1st, 2nd, the 3rd year, I decided I cannot wait any longer. Let me go to the hospital. I went to the hospital, and to my road shock, we did the test that confirms that whether you're fertile or you're not fertile. We did a HSG, we did a pelvic scan. The HSG checks the tubes if they are okay, and then the pelvic scan, they check if your uterus is fine, and also they check if your eggs are okay. So they checked, and my doctor said that everything was fine. So my doctor gave me medication to just boost fertility. Yeah, so I took the medication for some time, for around 6 months, and nothing was happening.
When you went to the hospital, the doctor confirmed that you're okay.
Yeah.
Did your husband also accompany you to the hospital? Did you go alone?
No, he did not. So for me, that time it started being a concern to me, not even to him, because now I felt like I've already gotten married, and he's giving me pressure of having the baby, and I'm not able to get. I found myself going to seek for intervention, because I was like feeling I'm the one who has the problem. So when Dr. confirmed to me that I did not have a problem and they gave me the medication, I tried to take the medication and I could not conceive. So on my 4th year, I went back to the Dr. And now Dr. told me, Cecilia, what we need to do, you need to come with your husband so that we can check what is happening with him. So when we went, I begged him to go because he was a bit resistant of us going. But I told him we really need to go because Dr. has said we need to go. So he agreed and we went. When we went and it was done the test, unfortunately it was proved that he had the problem.
He had the problem.
Yes.
Not you.
Not me.
Okay.
The sperm count was low. So you see that we had a game changer.
Yeah.
So
the same problem persisted in your first marriage and also the second marriage.
So basically, in the first one, that is what happened. And when it was said that his sperm count was low, he was told to take medication, of which he did not take. He was given for 7 days, and then he was told to take for 3 months. The only medication he took is just for the 7 days. The rest for the 3 months he did not take. So basically, he was not cooperating. And along the way, we kind of differed, and it all ended up through the divorce, and everything was over.
And then the second one?
I went to the second marriage, and the second marriage, now I'm so happy. I know now I'm going to prove to the world that now I'm going to have a baby. I'm not the one who have a problem. So I get so excited. The first year, nothing. So the first marriage I stayed for 6 years. So in this marriage, I said, now immediately I'm going to conceive. So I started immediately, I stayed for around 1 year and nothing was happening. I went back, I rushed to the hospital because I didn't want the same thing to happen to me. When I went back to the hospital, they told me that, Cecilia, now you have blocked tubes. Oh my God. And when you have blocked tubes, there is no way you can conceive. Because the tubes are the ones that...
the fallopian tubes.
The fallopian tubes. If they are blocked, there is no way the sperm can penetrate to the egg. So basically, for me, it was difficult to conceive. So I had blocked tubes and they confirmed I had fibroids. So it was so crazy for me. So I went and told my husband then, in my second marriage, that this is what's happening to me, and the doctor has advised that we need to do some operation, that is laparoscopy. It was going to cost some money. So he kept on saying, we're going to do it next month, and nothing was happening. Little did I know that he was working out another relationship. So 2.5 years down the line, I was kicked out. He took all my things, took them to my friends, and he said he never wants to see me. The reason why, he said that I lied to him, that I could conceive. And he has been told by the society that I will never conceive. So I went into depression. Cecilia got so frustrated. I didn't want to talk to anybody, and I broke all my relationships. Yes.
And then you went to the second third relationship?
No, now I decided, after around 1.5 years, I decided now enough is enough. I need to get a solution. I woke up one day, went to the doctor. I told him, now doctor, I think we need to start it all over again. Doctor told me, yes, Cecilia, now that you're single, let's work it out until everything is fine. So he told me this is the much that we need for the operation. It was such an amount, around 200,000. So I had to really struggle to save this money. I really struggled, and within like 1 year, I was able to raise the money, and I took it to him. So we did the operation. That time I had a friend, I would say, but I was not serious. I promised myself not to get married before I got a baby. So I didn't want to go through the same stress that I'd gone through. So yes, we did the operation, and then Dr. told me I stayed 6 months without direct intercourse, because if I would conceive, it's like I have wounds, so the pregnancy will not stay. So after 6 months, I started trying to conceive. I bought a dozens of test kits. Yeah. Then went with them home, and I told God, before the end of this, I want a baby. Because my pressure was, I wanted to prove to the society that I will be able to get a baby. So I tried the first month, I could not get a baby. I tried the second month, nothing was happening. The third month, I was like, okay, this is the same story, nothing will I'll never get married. The fourth month, I go to test, and I see 2 lines, and I'm like, what? Is this real or not? So I got so excited. No, at first I was shocked. Then I tried again. I thought, hey, maybe this thing is because it's in the morning. Let me try it. later on I tried it and it confirmed to me that I was pregnant. Yes.
And 9 months later, you conceived the first.
Yeah, 9 months later I was able to get my first baby, my son.
Ah, that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, does your own personal journey inspire you to form this organization?
Yes. I would say my struggle of infertility, because I would call it was a real struggle to get a baby. During my struggle of trying to conceive, I was trying to look for an organization or a place I can run to, or somebody who would understand what I was going through so that we share. Because there's one thing about infertility, you can never share with anybody what you're going through. So the stigma itself kills you. Because you know, a problem shared is a problem is half solved. So if you cannot share what is eating you up, so what will happen is it will eat you slowly by slowly, and you don't know it's eating you. You see, I tried to look for a foundation that is dealing with infertility, and I could not get. So later on, after I got my babies, people would come to me and ask me, how did you get pregnant? What did you do? Because they knew what I had gone through. So I would tell them, I would even introduce them to my doctor, and they were so happy. Now, know the way it became a big thing. When I go somewhere and maybe my baby is playing and maybe he falls, or I run and take him and say, well, this is, don't joke around with my kid, it's a miracle baby. Yes, then they would want to know what happened, and out of the crowd I'll tell them what happened and now the success story, and they'll be so happy. So I thought one day, why don't I just start something that is dealing with infertility? So that is how now I
came up with the foundation.
Yeah.
When was Fertility Kenya founded? Then what is the mission and vision of this organization?
Okay, Fertility Kenya was founded last year, 2014, and registered this year in March. So in terms of registration, we are less than 1 year. In terms of being there, we are like 1 year and a half. So it's still a baby, and our vision is to eradicate the stigma borne by people who have infertility. Yeah, so that is the number one thing. We want to remove that stigma associated with infertility. I want people to know that infertility is not a death sentence. Infertility has a solution. Yeah, it has a cure. Infertility is not a curse. Infertility is not, you're not bewitched. It's a problem like you have a headache and you take Panadol. It's the same thing. Yeah, so that is how we want to neutralize infertility, so that even the society will stop stigmatizing us. We want to tell the society it is not our fault not to have the baby. It's just that it's a condition. But if you support us, we're going to get a baby. So don't neglect us, accommodate us. Yeah. The other thing is we want to educate. Yeah, and also we want to make sure that people are able to access treatment in the most affordable way, because as you know, treatment of infertility is very expensive and most couples are not able to access the treatment.
Okay, so how does Fertility Kenya now work? Do you offer consultancy services or do you treat patients yourself?
I think I'll not say it's consultancy, though professionally I will say it is. But who are we as Fertility Kenya? We say that Fertility Kenya is a shoulder to lean on. Yeah? So basically, we are telling people who are affected with infertility, once you see that you're not conceiving, you don't have even to rush and go to daktari, because the only thing daktari will tell you is go and do this test. Maybe they'll tell you to do one test. Like in my case, I was told go and do A and B, but they left the third and the fourth. You understand? So I wasted 4 years. So when they come to us in Fertility Kenya, we save them the struggle of going back and forth to the doctors. So immediately they come to us, we tell them, I've gone through it, I've been there, and now to shortcut it, you need to do these tests. Even if you went to heaven and back, there is no other way we can check infertility apart from this test. Go and check, are your tubes okay? That is HSG. Do you have a uterus? That is pelvic scan. Do you have eggs? That is pelvic scan. The other thing is your hormones, are you okay in terms of your hormones? Are your hormones balanced? So go do the hormonal test. And number 5, go and do the sperm test of your husband. Once you do those tests, when they come now with the test, we are able now to refer them to the doctors. And the doctors we work with are the high-end kind of doctors. As in, they are the best gynecologists, I'll say. I pride in saying that. So we have negotiated prices on behalf of our members. So you, who is a rich person, if you went to the same doctors, you pay double of how much my member will pay. The other thing is, once they are told where the problem is, we are able to know it. We are able to categorize the problem. If you have blocked tubes, what are the solution of the blocked tubes? The doctor is able to tell them now, you need either laparoscopy or you need to be done IVF. You know, now you don't have that negligence of, I don't know what is happening with me. So people take advantage of you when you don't know what is happening with you. You see, so you get preyed on, as in pastors are preying on you, saying that I want to remove the curse of infertility situation. I want to. No, some people say you're bewitched. So you end up thinking it's true. So we want to remove that. We want to educate them so that they know this is now the problem that I have. And then if you know where the problem is, what is the solution?
Okay. So once our clients come to Fertility Kenya, and most of them may not even have necessarily this information, they will not know what is a scan or what is more that kind of thing. Now, do you now take them through, first of all, the course of fertility, for instance, in the most layman language they can never be able to understand?
Thank you very much. For me, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
So when they come here, I give them, I tell them in a layman language, a language that they will understand. In fact, if you see all my notebooks that we go through, we have over 300 members, and every person, every member who is registered under Fertility Kenya has not registered wherever they are. No, they have to come and we have to talk one-on-one. You don't register from Mombasa or you register, no, you have to come here. So I've seen all of the 300 members on one-on-one. So basically once they come here, I explain to them, not on doctors' big theological kind of explanation, but I tell them in a layman language. I tell them there are only these types of infertility, and when we find that this is the problem, these are the treatments. So the terminology and the technical part of it, the doctor is able to do that. But they really understand, and they tell me they have never known or thought somebody would explain the same way I do.
Okay.
So they come out of this place satisfied and knowing what they're going to do. They know the problem.
Do Fertility Kenya now also provide consultancy services to both men and women? Now, in cases whereby women has come to Fertility Kenya, they also try to kind of they also bring the husbands, but so it can be like a two-way process.
I'll laugh a little bit because as I started telling you, we have a lot of challenges with our men. When you touch a man's manhood, you're joking around with his whole life. So basically they never want to come. They never want to be associated with anything that deals with infertility. But yes, as Fertility Kenya, we incorporate both men and women. Most of the time is when women come. In fact, 98% are women, just 2% are men. So basically, I really understand the reason why, because men have this ego and they think that it's not their problem, it's a woman issue. But as Fertility Kenya, we are trying to really incorporate men to be involved, and most of the time is when we tell them to come with their men. But when we find that the woman doesn't have a problem, yeah, we really insist that the man comes. And we coach the woman on how she's going to handle the situation. You don't go begging on your husband telling him that you have no sperm count. You don't do that. We train them on how to just go and talk to their men. There's a way you can talk to your husband. Even if he said no, he'll just say definitely, we say yes. So we coach them on how now to talk to them until they agree to come with them. Because the biggest fear, if the problem is the man, is if there's no solution. So we tell the women that there is a solution.